Hey, what's going on? Welcome back once again, CISSP wannabes. I am Colin Weaver. These are the IT Dojo CISSP questions of the day, where every single day I come rocking at you with 2 brand new questions to help as you continue for your CISSP prep. Here comes question number 1. Which of the following firewall types provides you the least amount of protection over, or the least amount of control over the flow of network traffic? There's your answer choices. Click on pausey if you need to. Give the answer some thought. When you think you got the right one, click on play and we can talk it through. All right, answer choice number 1 says application layer firewalls. Negative. Those provide a lot of control over the traffic flowing through your network. So application layer firewalls are awesome. Lots and lots and lots of control choices you have there. So not the answer that we're looking for here. All right, well, how about the second choice? Layer 2 MAC address filters, not firewalls. So that's just some filtering based on MAC address, not a firewalling technique. So not a choice because it's not a firewall. Packet filtering routers, I bet that's our guy. Packet filtering routers examine the source and or the destination of the traffic, both at layer 3 and or layer 4. But that's it. They don't look at the payload. They don't look at the relationship of one packet to another packet. They don't look at the direction, whether it's part of an established connection. They don't look at anything. Every packet comes in, the ordered list of rules, that is your access control list, evaluates that particular packet, makes a yes or no decision based on the IP address and or the port numbers or the protocol that's in use, and allows it or not. And then that's the sum total of its decisions. As soon as that packet is gone, it never thinks about that packet again. The next packet comes along and he's making brand new, fresh decisions based on that packet's merits at layer 3 and or at layer 4 from an OSI model perspective. While wonderful and great, they provide the least amount of control because that's all you can do is look at the numbers. You look at IP addresses and port numbers and protocol IDs and type codes if it's ICMP or something like that. I do have some other videos that go in and spend a fairly detailed amount of time talking about firewalls, packet filtering routers in particular, and I even show you exactly how an attacker is going to bypass your packet filtering routers. So if you haven't seen those videos, they're in our playlist, so go in and check it out in the channel. Last 2 answer choices, stateful firewalls and proxy servers. Stateful firewalls typically operate on the same sort of logic that a packet filtering router operates on, but stateful firewalls go in and take it a step further by maintaining a state table to show which traffic has passed through a device and then dynamically creates reciprocal entries. So it gives you a greater level of control with less administrative effort, if you will. And then the last choice on here, which is also not the correct answer in this situation, is a proxy server. Proxy servers actually can exert a fairly strong amount of control because they can make decisions about which kinds of websites you're allowed to go to and maybe even time of day and on a per user basis. And so they offer a better level of control than just a plain old packet filtering router is going to do. So the least effective mechanism of firewalling from an exam perspective is packet filtering routers. All right, here comes the next question, question number 2. What I want to know from you in question number 2 is which of these best describes the domain name system? It's a lot of words in those answer choices. Click on pause, read them, think about them carefully. When you're ready, click on play and we can talk each one through. All right, looking at our first choice, say the domain name system resolves computer net BIOS names to IP addresses. No. The domain name system is very much involved in resolving names to IP addresses, but not NetBIOS names. The domain name system resolves host names or fully qualified domain names to IP addresses, not NetBIOS names. NetBIOS names, which is an old school Microsoft namespace, is going to be resolved either A, via broadcast, B, via the LM host file on your Windows computer, which is not super commonly done. Or an older service that I know still exists in a lot of people's networks, but is increasingly rare, is WINS, the Windows Internet Name Service. All that stuff is involved in the resolution of NetBIOS names, but increasingly we see NetBIOS less and less and less in people's networks, and in fact many networks today don't have any NetBIOS-based stuff in it at all, and you could disable it on your Windows nodes if you needed to. Having said that, I know there's still lots of NetBIOS in the world. All right, well, number 1's not the answer. How about number 2, a centralized database of domain names managed by ICANN? Now, ICANN, which is the Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers, is absolutely involved in the management of the domain name system. However, that's not what the domain name system does. The domain name system is not a database of domain names. Okay, it's something more than that. So that's just who manages all the domain names in the world, itdojo.com and Microsoft.com and Facebook.com and so on. All right, how about the third choice? A distributed hierarchical database for resolving fully qualified domain names, FQDNs. That is absolutely what the domain name system does. Now, DNS, or the domain name system, actually does more than that, but that is sort of the poster child of functionality of what DNS is all about, of going in and taking fully qualified domain names and resolving them to their IP addresses. Next answer choice, just talk them through to be thorough. An LDAP database used for storing objects and all of their associated attributes. No, that's more akin to what we would in today's world think of as a directory service. So something like Active Directory or something like that is more what that describes. And then the final answer choice is one that I made up just to try and confuse you, which is a port to service mapping agent that goes in and maps the locations of services within a network. No. Okay. DNS, the domain name system, is the distributed database, which means it exists on many, many, many different servers, each server responsible for its portion of the domain name system, for resolving host names, www.itdojo.com, to their IP addresses. So a fully qualified domain name, www.itdojo.com, to an IP address, whatever IT Dojo's IP address is. Again, DNS does do an increasingly larger number of things. It's involved in things like domain keys identified mail. It's involved in the Sender Policy Framework, which is an anti-spam thing. There's an increasing number of things that we make use of DNS for, rather than just good old-fashioned name resolution. But its primary function and its original design was a mechanism to go in and do that simple resolution. Cool. 2 more questions down. Thank you, thank you, thank you. See you tomorrow.